Now, at this time of the year, it's not only matriculants who are putting pen to paper. Final exams are also underway at tertiary institutions around the country. It goes without saying that it's a stressful time for students who are trying to find a way into the increasingly competitive job market and also making very important decisions about the future careers they want to follow. Many of them are seen by their families as potential breadwinners. So there's that pressure as well to deal with. Now, joining us now to discuss the pressure on students are final year law students at Wits University, Phumzile Mwelase and Tristan Marot. Phumzile and Tristan, welcome and good morning. I don't know why you accepted to come and do this interview with us when you should be studying and preparing to write your exams. Now, we are putting more pressure on yourselves, but we are grateful that you are here.
Thank you for having us.
Both of you, just off air now, you say you are both final year LLB students.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Phumzile, how's it going? Just broadly first. Let's start there. How's it going?
It's a lot of work, but it's very interesting because it's my passion. So I'm finding it very interesting. It's basically about time management. If you manage your time well, then you will sort through it.
We'll talk about how you manage the pressures later on. Okay. But thank you. You've already given out one of them, which is time management, as you start. And Tristan, how are you doing?
I think surviving is probably the best answer. I think that's all a final year law student really does. But it definitely is a case, I think, where, yeah, you survive. You try your best to do what your best is.
Okay. Now, Phumzile has mentioned time management. That's one aspect. But there are so many hours in a day. How do you cover up your schedule to make sure that you are well prepared? I mean, final year is really pressure, from what I understand, because you really want to go through, you want to go to your dreams. You're thinking about where you want to go next.
Yeah, indeed. It's not just about passing. It's about passing well enough to get into whatever it is that you want to do next, whether it's your articles, if you're doing law, or getting signed to that big company, or getting into your postgraduate degree. So definitely is a lot of pressure. And I think an important part about it is realizing what it is that you have to do. You have to sit down and kind of go, okay, I have so much work that I need to do, and therefore I need to start this early or plan out that much time. You also have to realize, though, what type of person you are, right? Some people need to start 3 weeks before the exams. Some people need to start 2 months before the exams. Some people need to start 2 days before the exams. You need to realize what type of person you are as a student and realize that it's okay to be different from your friends. It's okay to understand that you are stressed, you aren't stressed, you need to take longer, you need to take shorter, and accepting that and working from there.
Okay, Phumzile, the other pressure that really is around, besides your career decisions, it's the people around you. I mean, there's expectations from the family
of
as
course,
well.
of
There's
course.
expectation from men, from friends, and you yourself, I'm sure you've set certain benchmarks for yourself to say you want to do more than somebody else, as an example. Am I wrong?
Oh, you're right. You're definitely right. Like I said before, university is predominantly about time management and self-discipline. So you must have a plan on what you need to do, what your day is going to be like. Like Christian just mentioned now, it's okay to be different from your friends. Have your own plan. Start at your own pace, but don't overwhelm yourself too much. You know, have a schedule of what you need to do.
Yeah, but then I'm sure there are those times when people say, hey, I'm panicking a little bit, I've got a bit of anxiety. How do you manage that, Phumzile?
How I manage it is not to deprive yourself of leisure time, relaxing, having that chocolate now and then. That helps a lot. It goes a long way.
You sound like Yuveka. She loves the chocolate. My partner here in the morning. So it plays an important part.
It
sleep
does.
as well, I guess,
Sleep
is very important.
REM sleep is very important to dialogue, whatever you've learned. It's very important.
I guess, Tristan, at an individual level, as you said, and Phumzile is also mentioning the same thing, you can also have to work out what works for you, just to create that balance.
Just to get the balance.
And it's important to remember that balance. Stress and anxiety can be a very self-reinforcing cycle. People get stressed, they get anxious, they start pushing themselves to work harder, they start cutting back on leisure time, they start cutting back on sleep, and that just makes it worse and worse. It's important to make time for that, to remember, you know, sometimes going out having a drink with friends can be a good thing during study time to kind of de-stress yourself. It's when you're doing the entire bottle of vodka by yourself that it becomes a problem.
Yeah, then there's alcoholism creeping in there. On a serious note, now university like Wits, you guys are both from Wits. I'm just wondering, because of all kinds of reports you hear sometimes about what anxiety is doing to students, and depression can lead even to very terrible consequences. Do universities at this time offer you guys any kind of support? You know, like in corporate, you'll have a wellness officer or you'll have a wellness program where you guys can go and knock on the door of somebody and say, listen, I'm not coping. Do they do that, Pumzile?
Yes, universities do offer that, but because there's a stigma attached to depression, people do not seek those alternatives. They will hide behind thinking that it has something to do with their personality strength. It makes them a weaker person if they admit that they have depression or their stress. But there are avenues, there are places like CCDU that offer counseling for the students. But I'd also like to urge parents to not neglect their children just because they're in university, they're at res. You must check up on your child. Your child is still a child in university at res. Check up, go there. Be present, be active in a child's life. It's very important.
It's a young adult, they also need help. They're
They
still
also
your
need
child.
help, yes.
Tristan, all the best. I don't know
Thank
what
you
your
very
plans
much.
are, but we wish you all the best, Pumzile, as well. I don't
Thank
know
you
what your
so
plans are, all
much.
the best. But most grateful for you to have taken this little time out while you're in the middle of exams to come and
Pleasure.
share with us your experiences. These are final year law students at Wits University, Pumzile Mwelase and Tristan Maro. We wish them all the best with their future.